sometimes I just feel that we can't have conversations about the virtues, the goodness, the greatness of one athlete because we always feel like we have to play the comparison game. Today, I just want to pay tribute to what Caitlin Clark has accomplished. I'm not going to talk about some of even my favorite players. I'm guilty of it too. I'm not going to talk about my favorite players in the Caitlin Clark video. When I want to do a comparison video, we're going to know it's a comparison video because I'm going to be talking about, let's talk about this versus this. But right now, I don't want to dilute what is happening today that Caitlin Clark is achieving. I don't want to dilute that one bit by bringing in all these other factors and people and all this. We're not going to do that today. In this video, for the next 8 or 9 minutes, let's really take a look at the impact of Caitlin Clark.
Turn that volume up. You know you want it. It's time for Women's Basketball TV with former NCAA champion, WNBA champion, business mogul, and national TV personality, Fran Harris. Let's get it.
We are supposed to be hearing about Caitlin Clark's historic deal with Nike. It is rumored to be a $28 million deal where Caitlin gets 3.5 per year. Do the math. Do the math. 3.5, her own signature shoe. Yeah, 28 mil. Now, as we've seen music artists do this, $28 million is a lot of cheese, right? A lot of cheddar, a lot of paper, a lot of bread. But as we've seen people do in the past, let's break down that 28 million. Grandpa Sam is coming for his. So let's knock off that 28 million to 14 million, roughly. Unless, like some of us, we got some people who understand how to make the tax laws work for us. Unless Caitlin has hired some very savvy and honest tax people who understand that there is a way to maximize income and minimize tax liabilities. But those are the secrets of the rich and wealthy. Hopefully she has some of those folks on her side, on her team. So we got down to 14 million. Then Caitlin's got to pay her agent. And if she's got a manager, she got to break off the manager 5, 10, 15%, depending on what she's negotiated with them. So you got the agent, you got the manager. You got security, because when you're selling out arenas and people are already acting a fool on social with her, you got to have some security. Got your security people. Then you got your admin team. You got your hair makeup people. You got your social media team. You got your business partners that you have to pay. You have a staff. Caitlin Clark has a staff. She just walked out of Iowa. She has a staff. She's got to pay those people. So let's say started off at 28 million, knocked off 14-ish for Grandpa Sam, knock off another 3 million maybe for the staff, all encompassing. Now you're down to 11 million. Not bad. That's some good paper. That's some good bread, real good bread. And people are asking, does Caitlin Clark really deserve a signature shoe? Again, we're not bringing in other people because we're going to talk about what Caitlin Clark deserves. There'll be plenty of time for us to talk about what the system has failed to do. We're not talking about that right now in this video. Caitlin Clark is selling out arenas. And when you sell out arenas, the numbers don't lie. This is not conjecture. This is not make believe. I'm doing, as y'all know, I'm doing 20 of the Dallas Wings 30 plus games as an analyst this summer. And I called Dallas ticket office a few days ago, last week, end of last week, to order some gift tickets for members of my family. Because y'all know once you go will call, you never not go will call. My family still thinks I can just pick up the phone and go, hey, yeah, I need 4 tickets, I need 8 tickets, I need 10 tickets for my family. So once you will call, always a will call. So I'm getting some gift tickets for my family. Dallas ticket person's like, yeah, Fran. Yeah. Sold out. Okay, wait a minute, but what about sold out? Wait a minute, but what about sold out? Now this is the impact it's having on the league in general. The Caitlin Clark effect, the Caitlin Clark factor has elevated the PR quotient of the league. Hey, real quickly, if you like the content that I produce on my channel, go ahead and smash that like button, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to turn on notifications. Let's keep the conversations going. Caitlin Clark has brought new people, new eyeballs into the league. Again, those of y'all who love to say, well, so has so-and-so, well, so is this person. We're not talking about them right now. We're not talking about them right now. We're talking about Caitlin Clark. So I called Dallas, back to my story. I called Dallas. I'm like, I need some tickets for the blah, 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 blah. I know I'm calling these games, but I'm going to need, they're like, no, we're sold out. I said, well, my brothers wanted to come see these teams. One of them was Indiana. They're like, well, the only ticket I have to see Indiana is in September. Y'all, this is legit conversation. You can see the game in September. Your brothers can see the game in September. You know, I have a media pass. I can be at all the games. But I said, what? September. So when you talk about whether someone deserves, I don't think there's any question about the economic impact that Caitlin Clark has had on women's basketball in the last 2 seasons. Now, let me go back to the 2023 Final Four. I was there. I witnessed the takeover by the Iowa fans up on American Airlines Arena, which is where the Mavs play, which is where the Final Four was. Just so y'all know, if you're not familiar with the geography, Iowa is straight up 35, which runs through the state of Texas. Okay, one of the highways that run straight through north-south the state of Texas. Iowa, it was like a home game in Dallas. That's economic impact. Yes, there are other teams whose fans travel, but half that arena almost was in black and gold in Dallas last year, in 2023. All right, now we got a year to build up. Caitlin Clark, the lore and legend of Caitlin Clark is busting through the seams. Even more eyeballs. People got hip to it last year. People got hip to how well the Iowa fans support their women's basketball team, their women's sports in general. More eyeballs. In 2023-2024 season, they decide to sell out the football stadium. They're pushing the boundaries. They're saying, okay, all right, if this many people watched us in the Final Four on TV, how many people can we get in person to come out in our own home state, on our own campus, and watch women's basketball? What was it, 50 plus? I don't have the number in front of me. 50 plus thousand? Set a record. Caitlin led that charge. The people showed up. Okay, now the lore and the legend is building. It's building. Got some adversaries. Got folks on other teams. Notice, I'm not mentioning anybody else's name. The only name I'm going to mention in this is going to be Caitlin Clark. You got players on other teams. You got the nemesis on the other teams. People are talking about when they play Iowa. You had some drama this season. Certain teams beat Iowa. Certain teams crept up on Iowa. Caitlin Clark, is she mortal? Is she truly human? All these conversations building up the eyeballs, the legend, the lore of one Caitlin Clark. We get down to Albany. We get down to the regional tournaments. I'm speaking at the regional tournament where LSU and Iowa are playing. All right, so I see the game between Iowa and LSU. Pitting amazing players against one another. Sold out. People tried to walk up and get a ticket. They were like, nah, you can't get a ticket. Can't get a ticket. It's sold out. Iowa in the building. That's economic impact. Okay, Iowa advances to the Final Four. We got us a rematch between Iowa and South Carolina. Eventually, we got that rematch. Amazing. Iowa's in the building. South Carolina's in the building. It's great for women's basketball, peaking at 24 million folks watching the game. Settled in around 17.4, 17.8 million for that game, but peaked at over 24 million. They are not just there to watch women's basketball. They're there to watch the superstars of women's basketball. And the conversation online is about the superstars, whether those be coaches or whether those be players of women's basketball. And the headliner was Caitlin Clark. So when I hear people talking about whether Caitlin Clark deserves a signature shoe, it's a no-brainer. But let me also say this, and I'll do another video about the true economic impact line by line. If we look at the Caitlin Clark impact on the bottom line of women's basketball, that economic impact, putting cheeks in seats, breaking the internet, breaking the number of media credentials requested, breaking the number of stories written. It doesn't matter if I got my business hat on. It doesn't matter why it is. It matters that it is. We can talk all day about why. Okay, well, they did that because this. Well, they actually, that wouldn't have happened for this person. It doesn't matter. Those are separate conversations. This conversation is about, let's take a look at the economic impact of this player on the screen right now, number 22, Caitlin Clark. We're not going to sully the water and bring in other people. So when you ask me if Caitlin Clark, and I've been asked this 20 times in the last 2 weeks, deserves a shoe, someone even said on my timeline, like, she hasn't proven herself. What? Okay, let's separate that. Caitlin Clark is walking into the WNBA number 1 draft, will absolutely have to make her way in that league. But that's not what we're talking about. We're not talking about whether Caitlin is a proven WNBA star yet. None of the rookies are proven WNBA stars yet. They got to prove that on the court, in between the lines. I'm talking about the economic impact. And that is unequivocally undeniable. Cheeks in the seats, fans in the stands, engagement online. Because all Nike wants to know is, are we going to sell sneakers? That's all they want to know. Who's going to sell the sneakers for us? And listen, I guarantee you, if Caitlin's brand does not translate to sneaker sales, that deal won't get renewed. But Nike has the data. They have the data to support that this is going to work. They've been wrong in the past. But if I'm Nike, looking at the data, the economic data of Caitlin Clark, oh yeah, I'm betting on Caitlin. I'm betting on Caitlin. That doesn't mean I'm not betting on others, but when I look at her data, I'm betting on her. So what are your thoughts? about this pending $28 million deal for Caitlin Clark, 3.5 per year. What do y'all think about that? Too much? Not enough? And what are you basing that on? Is it just your emotion? Or you got some data you want to share with me? Put it in the chat. Hey, if you love this, make sure you like, share, turn on notifications so you don't miss a thing. We got a great WNBA season coming up. I'm going to be doing all kinds of game day stuff. I'm going to be walking you into the arenas, into practices, all that great stuff, doing reports live from our games. Can't wait to see some of y'all on the road in the WNBA. But right now, tell me about this Caitlin Clark deal. What you think? I'll see you in the next one.
Thanks for tuning in to Women's Basketball TV with Fran Harris, the most provocative and entertaining women's basketball show on earth. Be sure to click that like, share, and notification button so you don't miss a moment. We'll see you tomorrow.